We're going to work through an example of finding the x and y intercepts of a quadratic equation, and we're going to use the completing the square procedure to help us do it. So keep watching. I'm Allison from Math Bytes, and we're working through an example of finding the x and y intercepts of a quadratic equation. So here we go. Find the x and y intercepts of x squared minus 2x minus 5 equals y. Now for our x-intercepts, that will be where y is equal to 0. So setting y equal to 0, we get x squared minus 2x minus 5 equals 0. Now, I'd like to factor this to find the values of x that will make this equation 0. And I'm going to use completing the square to do that. So the first step in completing the square is to isolate the variable terms on one side and the constant term on the other. So rearranging, I get x squared minus 2x equals 5. Now the next step is to make sure that a, the coefficient of our x squared term, is equal to 1. And in this case, it is. So we can move on. Our next step is to add 1/2 b quantity squared to both sides of our equation. So in this case, b, the coefficient of our x term, is -2. 1/2 b is 1/2 -2, or -1. And 1/2 b quantity squared is equal to -1 squared, which is equal to 1. Okay, so we're going to add 1 to both sides of our equation, and we get x squared minus 2x plus 1 equals 5 plus 1. Now we can factor the left side of that equation because we just completed the square, and so we get quantity x minus 1 squared is equal to 6. All right, taking the square root of both sides of our equation, we get x minus 1 is equal to plus or minus the square root of 6. And solving for x, we get that x is equal to 1 plus or minus the square root of 6. Now, to finish it off, our x-intercepts are the point 1 plus the square root of 6, 0, and the point 1 minus the square root of 6, 0. Let's go back to our original equation and find the y-intercept. So we have y equals x squared minus 2x minus 5. Now at the y-intercept, x is equal to 0. So we just set x equal to 0 and solve, and we get y is equal to 0 squared minus 2 times 0 minus 5, or y equals -5. So our y-intercept is the point 0, -5. To learn more about this topic, watch our videos on the Math Bytes with Allison YouTube channel.